Good evening. How are you? Well, out my way, it's raining. I'm actually hiding under something. I was wet a minute ago. Uh, Thomas Jefferson says the temperature is 74, and it was 90 all day. So that's one of the benefits. The humidity, not surprising, is 92%, and they say the wind is at 3.2 miles. Could be. I think it's time to look at categories and performance of Trump. And I think it's useful for us to at least have an image in our mind of what we're dealing with so that we do deal with it. And too many people kind of slip the punch who comment day to day. They have this belief and understanding that nobody could be like Trump, and so he just doesn't understand, and this will all change and it will be better. There are more people, however, speaking to our side of the ledger who are talking about what we're dealing with. What can we call the vast space that Trump has created? Liberty Desert, where there's less until there is no liberty. It is the objective. The individual liberty has to be subordinate to Trump. That's who he is, that's what he is, and there is nothing that is going to change that for him except being run out of office or whatever could happen. A burst of intelligent representative government that cashiered the bastard. And Trump's army is an army of muscle to muzzle and coerce those who disagree and who call him out as a traitor, a manipulator, a person who bribes, a person who exploits his office. Can his drugs and his venality sustain him? He is a classic psychopath. And this is a category we've talked about from time to time. I don't mean I have, but our community has, the nation has. Consider the elements of a psychopath. No empathy, no remorse, manipulative, and antisocial. He makes pretense in a way that it suggests he knows what he should do and how is right to act, but he only takes on that guise when he needs it. It's kind of a lulling effort to make you feel, oh yeah, he's one of us, and then for a brief moment. So for example, when he is criticizing Putin in recent days, can we believe it? I think not. It's like we're being set up. Trump is going to be for Ukraine even as he helps Putin take over Ukraine. It's a terrible thing to say, but I believe that it's true. Now, when we look at him, some say he even emits the odors of human waste. Now, there have been enough reports, I suppose it's true. It's like he's rotting at the core, but he's able to sustain himself somehow to do the terrible things that he does on a day-to-day basis, and that we suffer because of it. Let's take his big bad bill. In that bill, and this shows, I think, the insecurity of a wannabe tyrant, $178 billion in the big bad budget bill is for chasing, deporting, and imprisoning migrants. What does that say? And the Marines are being assigned to support the ICE marauders. Now, this is should be a terrifying aspect, because we are being prepared to have to deal with it when he turns it on us. And it's already been turned, quote, on us, not you and I specifically, but on some of the prominent people who questioned Trump to his way of thinking when they were investigating, for example, was Putin actually helping Trump win the election, both the primary and the general election back in 2016. Now, what evidence do we have? Well, we have a couple of data bites that are spot on in this regard. Consider the prominent past officials. And what Trump does is he invokes unsupported claims and coerces people into situations in which he hurts their credibility enough that he dismisses any need to have to reckon for what he did wrong, which has been concealed by his pirouette, if you will, his rhetorical pirouette. Now, FBI head Comey is in those crosshairs. He found it a concern that Putin intervened in the election, the presidential election in 2016 for Trump, in the primary and the general election. Also, CIA Director John Brennan did as well. And so now they are talking about an investigation of the two of them. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Now, this is not all that they're doing with Comey, and I have my own issues with Comey, how he handled the Hillary Clinton investigation. I think he literally helped give the oomph that Trump needed to win that election. And I said it on the air, and I said it pretty unambiguously. I thought Comey was wrong when he went after Hillary, and he didn't do enough when he was confronted with Trump. These guys have always, shaved points to Trump's advantage. That's not useful at all. But Comey, he saw something on the web, social media, and in the sand there were 4 numbers, 86 and 47. And he circulated that. And people say, well, what it means is to remove Trump. Well, it doesn't say how to remove Trump. I support removing Trump, but I don't support violence. But I know a lot of people would not be upset if that happened. But no one has said it. I didn't just say it. Comey didn't say it. And so there's all sorts of complaints about what he said. So he took it down. He apologized. He says, I didn't think it meant that. And so what do we have? We have them then have agents of the government trailing Comey, literally following his vehicle, tracking his phone and his cell. This is the kind of stuff this is Stalin-esque. This is what Stalin did. This is what Putin did. It's appropriate that in the nation that wants to be Soviet again, that we would be inhaling their malefactors of individual civil liberties. So there's that. And the broader picture is, when you're looking at a tyrant, what are they really about? What are they doing? They are reaching a place where it is the state versus the community. The dictator tells us what. There's no longer a democratic input. And we have seen the steps taken to limit that fight on behalf of the democracy, on behalf of the republic. I think Jeffries, the minority leader in the House, is a fabulous politician. I think he's a wonderful person. But where is the kind of argument that he and others can make? Him standing there with a baseball bat is funny, I guess. But it's pathetic when you consider what the stakes are and what it is that we're fighting against. Their speech should be different. It should be, this guy, if he has his way, you will have no liberty. Now, a president years ago spoke about exactly the situation we're in. It was basically the most prominent Republican in the history of the Republican Party. It was Abraham Lincoln. He said that our defense is in the preservation of the spirit which prizes liberty as a heritage of all men in all lands everywhere. And he gave a warning. Destroy this spirit and you have planted the seeds of despotism around your own doors. That's what we're doing. Every day we pretend, because we don't want to have the fight, that everything is normal and somehow the system will correct itself and somehow or other this will all return to the sunny pathways of our nation beforehand. Well, first of all, it wasn't that sunny and it wasn't so obvious, and we had problems, and we were perfecting our nation. It has been torn apart, torn asunder by Trump, and day by day more and more of this happens. We have to stand up and be counted against this. This is not acceptable. It's not acceptable given our history, given our original promise. So, that's a few thoughts I have. You can even hear the thunder. So maybe tomorrow I'll be on the road without rain. Anyhow, it's good to visit with you. Talk to you tomorrow. All the best. Bye-bye.